Sometimes you just gotta make weird stuff because you want to. Hey, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Both. Anyways, I've been really busy this week. I just finished painting a backdrop. I'll put it up here. You might know why I was painting backdrop. If not, check out some of my other videos. I have ones about alien eggs that I've been building to go in front of this backdrop. It's been a long day. Long couple of days. I've been working on a project that for no reason, just something that I wanted to do while I had the little bit of time to do it. I did film it. It was probably, I want to say, like 6 to 8 hours of work. I don't even know. It's still drying, but this is when I get to film it and share it with you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a gigantic Pee Wee Herman fan. I have Pee Wee stuff all over my house. It's one of the things that I get probably sent the most because I think it actually reminds people of me. And I hope what I made does, Paul Rubens' team proud. I love him. I hope you love him. I'll insert the footage of him being made. There was lots of things that went wrong, lots of mistakes that were made, things I might do differently. But this isn't a piece that I'm selling. It's a piece for myself, and I sure am going to enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So here, I'll insert some footage. So we're in like the photo studio part of my workshop. It's where I have a lot of props and stuff that I do, have for sale, and they're over there ready to go. But if you haven't figured out who this guy is, I made me a Globey from, Pee Wee's Playhouse. I didn't have time to make him an arm. Hopefully one day. Like I said, I think he's still sticky, still drying. I love him. And I'll show you the process along the way of how I got here. The first part of building Globey was just taking one of those gigantic punching balloons and doing, I guess it's Mod Podge to a certain degree. That's what I call it, but it's really just white glue mixed with water. I eyeball the ratios, and this was a lot of layers. I think I did like 5 layers of newspaper on him for structure. I just kept coming back every hour for an entire day and putting another layer on him. And well, because it's me, I added some clear latex on the final Mod Podge layer, just for structure, for peace of mind. I don't know. I like my stuff to be sturdy. The next step was sculpting his nose, and this was the clay that I used. It's from Amazon. It's really cheap. It's kind of crappy. It swells, so you can't really add detail to it, but it was very lightweight, which was perfect for this project. You'll see here, I'll keep adding it up there to check for scale and comparing it to the original photograph. So yeah, you read that correctly. I had 2 big fails on this project. Sometimes when I'm making something that's for myself, I'm intending to keep, I'll try like a new crafty method that I wanted to try because, it's a good experiment, right? Well, for this, I wanted to try to do a paper mache clay layer. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it all over the place. Essentially, it's taking glue, paper. They use cornstarch. I use baby powder cornstarch, and that's not even a necessary ingredient in the base recipe either. And joint compound, and you break it down into a paper pulp, and you add in all the stuff, and you're supposed to be able to sculpt with it. I see people do it all the time. Well, here was our first mistake. I thought because I had really crappy paper towels, like terrible paper towels, and not a lot of toilet paper, which is what the video we were following used, that the paper towels would break down enough, because I feel like they disintegrate if you just look at them. But let me tell you, they didn't. And I was like killing my hands trying to break this stuff up. So, spoiler alert, I have to scrap all of this work, and I tried again with just newspaper, because I've seen it done with newspaper. So you can see here, like, I'm trying to squeeze out the water, but it's just not quite breaking down, which, you know, is somewhat interesting, because I guess even crappy paper towels can't turn into mush. This is when we accepted that that just was not going to work after all of that time, and I reformatted this with newspaper. So this is the first time I've done my nails in months. And I can tell you now, it's 4 days later or something, and my nails are still stained black from the newspaper ink. But I did the same thing. I crushed it down, I strained it out, and I did the recipe with the glue and the cornstarch, and I don't know what else was in there at this point. It never quite got, like, moldable. We tried it. It was just so crumbly. I think I needed more glue or to get more water out. This was the way I did it. She drained hers through a cheesecloth. I put mine through a cloth too, but I don't know. I would like to revisit it. If you guys have any tips and you've done this before, let me know. So this is after I added the joint compound, which you would think would make it pretty durable. And then we glue the nose on with hot glue. And you're going to see a time lapse of a quick bit of us struggling trying to get this clay to just work. It was really funny. My daughter kept trying to make an eyebrow and it kept looking like a cat turd. And I couldn't get it to make even an eyeball. So we gave up. When I realized that this crumbly mess after a few hours of work just was not going to do what I needed to do, I give up. And we sculpted it out of air dry clay. So here's the base of Globey. I've at some point added a mouth onto him and a chin, some cheekbones, and my daughter went ham doing the continents. She's very big into geography, so I let her just take the wheel on that. I think she did a really good job. You know, after feeling a little bit defeated and wasting all that time, I didn't have that much time to work on this project. I had to rethink everything that I was doing, so I just kind of went back to what I know how to do. So just like my alien eggs and the stuff that I happen to have around the house, I did a decoupage layer on the clay because there was gaps on the corner for where the clay was meeting. It just wasn't laying as flush as I wanted it to, and I thought that this might fill in some of those gaps. So we just took Mod Podge and some tissue paper, and that's what I started for a base coat here. I used the blue. I know it's not the correct Globey blue, but I thought it would be a good base coat cheat layer because I was originally going to do that other clay stuff and just do a spray paint that I had. And, things went this way instead. I did eventually start to get more excited about it because you can see his face and the life in him coming through at this point. I actually took an old cat bowl and just spray painted that black for his base. It was almost the perfect size. It's a little bit small. And then we just went ham painting on him. very last step I noticed I didn't finish recording, and I apologize, but I did use this painter's tape for shoes to put his lines on him to help as a guide. And I think he came out pretty cool. So here's our last few sexy shots of my Globey from Pee-wee's Playhouse. So thanks again for joining, and I hope to keep posting stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. You can find me on social by art by J Dizzle or JD Studio and Props. More stuff to come. You can see more sneak peeks of what's coming, and have a great rest of your week. This is hurting my arm. I shouldn't be holding it this way. But here we go.